Hey everyone, welcome to Azar. We're going to be digging into the Witcher series on Netflix today. We're doing it in 3 episode chunks, so we're going to be covering the first 3 episodes, but we're also going to be covering it from a standpoint where Nick has not played or read any of the material, and I myself have played most of the games, and so we're going to kind of do this episode or this section just on the episodes. Then afterwards, we're going to do a video on spoilers. So if you're looking for one or the other one's out there as well. All right, so let's go ahead and dig into it, Nick. So Nick, you have no experience with The Witcher. What do you think so far? What did you think of the episodes? Did it get better or worse or what?
Well, the story's pretty good. I'm so confused. I feel like all the three main storylines are all taking place at different times. I feel like they're like 20 to 30 years to 50 years apart. I feel like there's like a time thing going on. I know you said everything's linear, but it sure feels like someone's in the past, someone's in the future, and someone's in the far future. Like it feels like it's so mixed up with the timing. And I think maybe if I understood the lore a little bit better, I would understand what's going on. But like right now, I'm kind of figuring out what a Witcher is. He gets paid to kill monsters, which wasn't really explained. I'm kind of figuring that out for myself. I see magic is a big part of this universe, which is cool. Figuring that out too. And there was a break between two worlds, and that's how magic leaked into the world. Yeah.
Yeah, so honestly, I'm looking at this from a storytelling standpoint. I have to make sure to mention the author did not really approve of the direction the games went in. So I don't know where those stories separate because this is based on the novels. So at some point, if not already, the story is different. So this, as far as what I can tell so far, this is taking place quite a bit before the books. This is the games is kind of leading into where the games would happen. So I can't judge if this is how the games are portrayed or not. Episode 3 is very much taken from the opening cinematic from the first game. So I think that was like a famous story in the books. And, honestly, I think that might be one of our better episodes that we'll have just because it has really strong source material. So I'm curious to see. But
what's funny?
Go ahead.
I don't mind this. The story's okay. I'm like catching up and figuring out stuff. What's kind of taking me out of the world is the visual effects.
So I didn't know, but I called Nick when he was about 7 minutes in the episode 1, and I was about 5 minutes in. I go, "Hey, are you watching?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm watching right now." He goes, "Do you want to say what you said?"
Yeah, that's fine.
He goes, "What was it? Just me, or was that kind of cheesy, that opening fight with the monster?" And I had to kind of agree with a little bit. So why did you think it was cheesy?
Oh, I just think the design of the monster wasn't good at all. I mean, design has a lot to do too. Like you can still make something look creepy, scary, and ugly, but like cool and actually fit into the world and stuff. The renders just seem cheap. The compositing just seems cheap. The way the fog's overlaid. Maybe they were rushed. Maybe there's a time constraint since they released all the episodes at once. It wasn't like you have like extra weeks. Because like Game of Thrones, for example, they can release one and they're still working on the next one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they still have like a full 3 months to still finish other visual effects.
Finish
shots.
episodes,
This is like, here it is, catch! You know what I mean? It's like, it's like, oh, it's all in front of us. But like, wasn't enjoying the opening scene. We can show some still frames I took. I took some screenshots with the timeline so you guys can see the scenes that I'm talking about.
Cool.
And then there was a scene where, like, right after that battle, there's like an establishing shot of like a castle and stuff. And I was like, what is up with this green fog? Like, is it just like, is my internet slow? Why does this look so bad? And then there's a scene with like a brick wall. And he like walks up to go with the brick wall, and then you can see like whoever did the roto and like the feather was just way too much. And I'm not a fan of the color grading sometimes. It's mostly
really?
just the first episode, like that big battle scene. Like I was thinking like, okay, this is like the Battle of the Bastards from HBO's Game of Thrones or even Lord of the Rings when the armies collide, but it just looked so pathetic and like the spacing, there was no shadows like on the characters that were running. Like, it just looked like there's like run in this line, and swing your swords, and it was so short. But I was just like, this is so cheesy. But you know what? Episode 2 and 3, they kept it more contained, like inside castles and stuff like that, like one-on-one battles, and I think that's helping the show overall. I think when they try to go epic, showing like a castle burning and like the CGI guys running, into the castle. It's just like not working as well as just those smaller little stories. And also, this series kind of reminds me of Mandalorian, where they're kind of episodic, where it's just like you're kind of focusing on short stories. I mean, but it also kind of connects to a larger story, but it feels like it's little contained stories. And I think that's why it's so tough for me to kind of figure out the different like races in this world and like why elves are so hated, but they're used for magic, and do they have to kill elves and mate with elves to be able to use magic? It's just like, what is going on in
There's
this
a lot
world?
going on, right? Yeah. So I'm kind of looking at it from a storytelling standpoint. Just am I enjoying the show and the visual effects, and then also how is this related to the books or the games? How much is it relating? And so the only gripe I have so far is that opening scene with the monster. I thought the monster looked fine. It could have looked better, but it didn't look horrible. It just, when he got thrown up out of the water, when there's wire work and someone's lifted up and they fall, it almost looks like they're a little bit too floaty, a little bit. And so that's your establishing shot for the series. So like has to really hit with a lot of impact. So that kind of felt a little bit cheesy, but after that, the other things that Nick is usually watching a laptop really close up, right? So you're maybe seeing things
on my big monitor.
Okay. So it depends
that's
on what you're watching on that maybe you'd see that. So I didn't notice the visual effects falling apart at all. Like overall, I've liked them. I've definitely thought that the first episode was the weaker one. 2 and 3 was better.
There are some good shots. Like I think episode 2, I did screenshots of like amazing matte paintings. Like that one building that's in the Green Hills, and it was like stacked on each other. I'm like, this is awesome.
It's beautiful.
Like, that's
yeah,
cool. I want more of that. And then even the whole scene where that guy that plays the song is kind of following. It reminds me of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. He's running away. He's running away.
I did not.
You know what I mean? Like that's what it reminded me of. This guy's like, woohoo. Like
that's hilarious. I didn't even think about that, but it totally does fit.
There's so many things that remind me of Monty Python in this.
I've really enjoyed the matte paintings and the visual effects. I've actually really liked them. They've gotten way better, like you said, as they've gone along. Really beautiful stuff. So they are trying to pack a lot into basically 3 hours that we've seen so far, right? Some people have already binged and watched the whole thing, but we didn't want to do a whole episode recap all in one.
No, that's spoilers. I have a theory, I think. I don't know.
So we'll talk about your theories. I'll be curious to hear about your theories. I just won't answer it. We'll answer that in the other videos. But so if you think about what they've had to do, and remember, I played 3 games. These games are like probably 80 plus hours each. I think the first game with the third game with the expansions was like 130 hours. The second one was, I think, probably, I did play that twice, but I mean, we're talking about like 90 hours. So they're long. Yeah, they have time to establish all this stuff, whereas they have to establish a lot of stuff in like 3 episodes.
But for it being based off a video game, it's
based off novels.
Okay, novel. Oh, that's right, isn't it? I was about to give it credit saying based off a video game, it's doing pretty good. Like other video games things, but never mind. I take that back. I forgot there was novels.
But so if you think about what they did in the early episodes, they established right away he fights monsters, and then right after that you see him getting paid. Okay, so he's a monster hunter. So they don't. I like they don't explicitly spell out everything for you, but like you said, that can make it confusing until it's confirmed for you. But I like they're not completely spelling everything out. It
feels like it's very niche for the people that's read the novels and played the games. Because
that's why I'm kind of wondering.
There's so much that like they already know what's going on. Where they're like, he knows how to do spells and break spells too. He has this wide history. Like he's like, what words did you utter? Like in the 3rd episode, and the guy's like, bloobity blue blue blue. He's like, oh man. Now I have to be here till morning or whatever. It's like, wait, how does he even know this? Like, but
I mean, so do you? I kind of like that when things aren't spelled out and you have to learn about it as you're going on. They don't have this like big, opening monologue and stuff like that. But so you just
understand the rules of the world. I think they haven't established the rules, like how it works. Like Lord of the Rings was just like, this evil dude created this ring. In order to defeat the guy, you have to destroy the ring. Like right away, like the rules are established. He has spies everywhere. Like, they give you a rough or whatever, but they like told you the basic rules on how to play this game. Like, how the game.
But you had read the books, right? So you had that feeling.
Not before watching the movies.
Oh, okay.
Like,
but the other thing I will say is
before I read the books, I think I was junior high when the movies came out, and I
Oh,
had
okay,
like
okay,
no
okay.
idea like the.
So the other thing I would say about The Witcher is it's not as black and white as Lord of the Rings is. Sauron bad, Hobbit's
Yeah,
good,
but when
for
it
the
comes to
most part.
storytelling, though, it's good to have a
Yes, it's
basic
good to have the
line.
boundaries. So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with you. But one of the biggest things about this world, again, at least I'm just talking about the games, is that there's really almost no right and wrong answers. Like you notice all the contracts he's taken on and all the decisions he's made, they've almost explicitly said in the episode, you'll never know if you made the right or wrong choice. It's like you make a choice, but it's so gray that it's almost hard to tell, and so they've kind of really established that. I like that, but at the same time, you're right, it is a little bit hard to set ground rules when it's kind of a little bit more gray like that. But
Yeah.
so any favorite scenes or any favorite story arcs, and you can give your theories here on what you think's going on, and then when we get into the spoiler discussion you liked. Yeah.
Spoiler warning, just in case if you haven't watched the first 3
Oh yes,
episodes.
so we're talking about the episodes, but we're not talking about the game lore that goes into it. Yeah.
But just in case, spoiler warning. You've been warned.
You've been warned.
So, one of my favorite scenes reminds me, or was obviously in the 3rd episode when he's fighting the claw creature.
Yeah.
But didn't that creature remind you something out of Pan's Labyrinth?
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
Not the guy with the eye, but maybe a.
Oh, I thought that's what I thought a little bit.
Well,
was that guy?
But with the color scheme of the dude with the horns, kind of.
Oh yes,
because the way the eyes were set up and stuff was really trippy and creepy, and it was a monster. That was a good monster. Like I was a fan of that. I was a fan of that whole sequence. Maybe that's where most of the money went to and stuff. But I want to kind of get into theories. So I think.
Well, let me just say real quick something.
No. Go ahead. No,
I was gonna say.
Wait a minute. What are your favorite shots? I'm sorry, John.
Well, I was just gonna say that overall, I've aside from that opening sequence where he was fighting the monster, which looked fine, it was just more the wire work that I'm maybe being overly picky, but I've loved the color work. Like you said, the color gradings bother you.
In the first episode, for sure.
Oh, okay. But I've really liked the color. I've really liked the matte painting. The mood has been very fit. Even what's his name? Henry Cavill.
Is that his name?
I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last
Superman.
name right. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, Superman. But his voice, he's even tried to do that kind of gravelly voice. So he's been doing a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, the only thing that I would say it's hard for me so far is the ages of certain characters based on, I think, where their relationships are supposed to go, at least in the games where relationships went.
That's why I think the timing's off. I just feel like the timing is all over the place.
It could be. I mean, it seems like they're happening at the same time, but there's certain shots where it seems like they're referencing other people.
Yeah, but if it's not, like, we need something because it's so confusing right now. Like, to me, I feel like there's like a time jump. Like, for example, spoilers. I don't know if this is going to be true, but I think the little girl with the white hair is somehow connected to the Witcher like a daughter or something, because no one else in this universe has white hair. And whenever the hairline like lines up, I'm always just like,
I thought she had blonde hair.
She has like bleach blonde hair.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, it's close enough where you can be like, You know what I mean? I don't know. I have no idea. I've only got into episode 3, so I have no idea what's going on. I don't have time to watch and binge. But I just feel like because of the hair color, I'm just like, what the heck? Like, and there's this weird connection. And wasn't there something too when he was at like the brothel or whatever, and there was a woman he loved or something like that, and there was like, so I was like, man, is that connected? Because her mom wasn't there. It was just her grandparents.
Yes.
Right? She was saying grandma and grandpa or whatever. Or no, I don't know. I don't know if that was her father though, or related father or grandfather. I don't know, because the way they were talking and joking around, I feel like a real dad wouldn't talk to their daughter that way when they were like talking. So I'm like, okay, there's something's up here. She adopted, and they're like, are we gonna tell her? So it's like, is she half Witcher? Does she have some powers? Because when she screams, everyone backs away. But then again, maybe she just has magic ability. Like the other girl did that transported herself. And I don't get.
So, and what did you think of that girl? So her name, you didn't hear her name for a long time. Her name's Yennefer.
Is she like a iconic?
They would call her Piggy, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've established most of the main characters already. So as far as main characters, I don't think this is spoilers, but obviously you have Geralt, you have Dandelion, which they haven't mentioned him by name yet, but he's the bard that follows him around.
Oh, the guy that sings?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then Robin ran away. Like
Run
his
away,
song was
a coward.
so he's a main character. So in the games, at least, when you're hearing about Geralt's exploits, they're all written from Dandelion's point of view. So he'll embellish certain things, and he'll say, "And then I saw the hero do this," or "I heard." So it's kind of fun that they have him in there, and he's saying, "No, you have to pump up the story a little bit." So it's kind of funny. Yennefer is a huge main character. The girl that just got transformed, Piggy. Yes, she's a huge character in a completely different way than we're seeing right now.
Oh, okay.
And then also Ciri she becomes like a central figure as well. So
who's
Davis, the young girl.
Okay. Oh, so
Sorella is her full name. They call her
Ciri.
Ciri.
Related then to. She's probably not related to the Witcher.
I'm not saying anything, and we'll talk about this in spoilers.
Well, if she's the main character, I mean, I feel like it wouldn't have been a spoiler then, because it's like so obvious if you played the games that he has a daughter.
Well, so no, again, for me, it's new too because the games are almost viewed as fan fiction by the author. So this could be going a completely different direction, and this is all happening before the games took place. So this is almost like pre-type of stuff, and it may lead into a whole different branch as far as how the world goes. So overall, are you enjoying it?
I'm starting to enjoy it now. I'm starting to get into it because I think I'm starting to figure out the world more. At first, I'm just like, what's going on? Who's this guy? Yeah. Like I told you, like I was kind of doing things during the first episode. So I thought
shouldn't do that. He was doing dishes, you guys.
No. I was editing.
Yeah, he was editing. What the heck?
But I was doing Star Wars. But but like that guy that did the magic for the girl to escape the castle, I thought that was the same dude that he went into the first job the Witcher did. Like, because I was just kind of glancing back and forth, and I saw a guy with the beard that kind of does magic. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of people look very similar. Like you said, it's very rare that you have someone with light hair. And we'll talk about that too, because some characters that have been... and then another main character that's been presented is...
With the curly hair?
Triss. Triss is in
curly hair, right?
The curly hair, yes.
The one that like fixes his cut on his neck or whatever.
Yeah. So the one thing I'll say about that is she had red hair in the games, and
wow!
I'm curious why they changed that because it helped. She's almost getting mixed in with everybody else because everybody has dark hair. I feel like that would help her stand out a little bit more. But anyway, yeah. So she's a central figure as well. A sorceress.
Sorceress. Okay. So what's the difference between a sorcerer and a witch?
A witch, witches, I think, are like, so there's this lodge of sorceresses that are kind of, they're official magic users, where I think witches are kind of outside. I might be wrong on that, but
is Piggy a sorcerer or a witch?
She's a sorceress. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So are there even witches in this world?
Yeah, I think there's witches and stuff. Yeah. So I mean, they're like, witches are like kind of often nature. This is almost like a political thing, the sorceresses.
That's why they meet
remember, they're going with all the political people and stuff like that. They meet
that's what doesn't make sense with the timeline. Because I think the guy that he did the first job for, the one after he killed the girl, he's like...
The brother and the sister, right? He was a kid, right?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Maybe that. But maybe that. I was talking about... The guy that he got hired, the Witcher got hired for killing the girl.
Oh, yes.
So is he in the league of the sorcerers?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Was he the older dude with the beard? And he's like, she has elf blood. And there was like a whole thing. Was that him? That's why I'm getting like mixed up with the timeline and faces. I'm just like so confused.
A lot of people do look similar. And sometimes, like, I don't think we've even gotten Dandelion's name, the Bard. So it's like we're not even getting names for main characters yet. And maybe he gets his name given to him somehow, but it's been a little bit hard to keep track of. There has been times where I thought, like, oh, is like you said with Yennefer, the Hunchback girl. I thought, because the third episode was the big thing about the brother and the sister having a relationship, right, and things like that. And then I thought when she was getting like coronated or whatever into the sorceresses, there was a brother and sister kind of playing around, and I thought it was the two of them from that painting because they look very... I may be way off, but they took time to show this brother and sister kind of playing around and nudging each other. I'm like, oh, they look just like the painting. Either that or they're making people look too much alike. I'm not sure.
No, I think there's something up with the timing for sure.
Okay, so
there's something
anyway,
going on with the timing.
with that, I'm honestly, as a huge fan of the games, I'm really interested to see where this goes. Whether it departs from the game timeline or not, I really like the world. They've established a lot of the rules, whether they're clear to someone who hasn't seen it or not yet. They're establishing those things, and they're giving me a story that I haven't had before. So I'm really looking forward to it. Sounds like you're looking forward to it as well overall.
Now I'm just trying to figure out this world, and I
Yeah.
love world building
Yeah.
shows. I'm big on Naruto because of like the whole world building aspect of like ninja schools and all that stuff with Lord of the Rings, Star Wars.
So the one thing I wanted to ask you, so you felt like Lord of the Rings was way more established right away. Game of Thrones, I can't remember. Did it start out the gate and have everything established, or did it take a while to get going as well?
Well, I think it was established like the idea is like those are foreign tales. Like, they established like things are real, but the people are kind of mentally blocking it out. So it's like, it was basically they were putting the seed that everything they said that wasn't real and didn't happen is probably going to happen. You know what I mean? Like they were setting the seed for like they showed the wolf and like the stag and how like the stag killed the wolf, but the wolf, you know what I mean? So it's like it showed how the Baratheons were going to kill Ned Stark, but the pups were going to survive. And you know what I mean? Like the whole thing like that.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
So I don't know. I just felt like there was better groundwork laid out. But then again, like it was also so much more slow paced than this, and it's also a different style where that was telling a full story. Where this feels like it's jumping around time, and it's like short little stories. It's like if we were like talking to Daenerys when she was like had the dragon already, and we didn't see her backstory, but then we saw Jon Wolf. Or not Jon Wolf.
Jon Wolf.
Gosh. Jon Snow, maybe at the watch when he first started, but then it's like Daenerys is about to come over. You know what I mean? It just, everything feels like it's all over the place kind of thing. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Hopefully it'll come together for me in the next 3 episodes when we do the next one.
All right, guys. So we're looking forward to the rest of the episodes. Again, we'll be doing these in 3 episode chunks from someone who's played and really loved the games as someone who's experienced them for the first time. If you have information or you have theories or anything like that, whether you've played the games, read the books, or brand new, put them down in the comments. Like this, follow us, see what's going on. If you want any information on any of the ways that the content is being presented or delivered, go ahead and head to asart.space. We kind of put all the information there. We'll see you on the next As Art.